welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. Let's turn that volume down because I can hear myself twice coming through the system. Anyway, how are you all this evening? Understand that there's some good chat going on in Scotland tonight. Before we start the video, I would just like to... Oh, not that. I would like to congratulate... Yes, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Martin on becoming the next Rangers manager. And I believe that Mr. Martin has become the new manager of Rangers Sevco. Now, what are they going to be called since it's not Rangers 2012 now? Because obviously there'll be a different limited company and stuff. So, anyway, the next version of the banter years is beyond us. It's chapter... What are we on? Chapter 34 of the banter years. And Mr. Martin, yes, Mr. Martin has taken the Sevconian job. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. And can't get that off. Get rid of that, and that's that. Let's get back to Celtic. So there's lots to talk about tonight. Oh Jesus! I take it they're in, but a bit of meltdown, a bit muscle farting. Anyway, good evening, and it is all about Celtic. It is all about Celtic and the fact that, let's face it, without other people looking up to us and want to be in our shoes, and that's what Adam Ida said. He says, look, I'm only human, and obviously it's international week. Yes, the players have had their little mini break already, and some of the players are with their international camps, Adam Ida being one of them. Adam Ida is confident that he can handle the pressure at Celtic, having ended the season on 20 goals. Should really had a picture up of Adam Ida, don't we? We all know what Adam looks like, but we're not all sure what the new Rangers manager looks like. Oh, it's just started. The next point is anyway. We move on swiftly. Ryan Moore says depression knowing that Adam Ida will be our number one striker for next season. No, he won't, Ryan. No, he won't. Go move the table down. There we go, that's a bit better height, isn't it? That's a lot better. So anyway, yeah, Adam Ida has been speaking to the media, and obviously they want to know what happened on that night out. He suffered a lot of nonsense by the media in Scotland, a bit like what Bruni went through when he went on his little night out and got hammered, and somebody videoed it, stuck it up on social media, asked about the pressure. Even though that event, Brendan Rodgers said that Adam phoned me the next day, explained what had happened, and he was on a day off. So no, he wasn't representing the club, although you represent the club 24/7 when you're a Celtic player. Brendan Rodgers did say, but he says he's just a young lad. Do you know? And he says, Brendan says, I feel for young lads in this day and age because he's only human and he's only going out doing what young lads are doing all over the place. But because he's a Celtic player and he's at a big club, do you know that the pressure is always on to go out and live the perfect life. And at that age, you're not living a perfect life. And Adam Ida says, look, it says the 9.5 million price tag, the clubs that paid that. I've scored 20 goals this season, and half of his 53 appearances came from the bench. 53 appearances he made over the course of the season, coming from the bench. He also suffered periods where the media were obviously against him. He says the pressure is a lot. You're expected to deliver at Celtic. I think with my experience now, said Adam, you've got to put that behind you. And, you know what you're good at. And know what you're good at. And that made me smile because there's always wannabes that want to come up and take your place. There's always wannabes out there that want to try and knock you down from the perch that you're on. And there's always people above you that are trying to keep you down. So it's about not giving a fuck. It is about not giving a fuck. And Adam Ida was quite right in not giving a fuck. Speaking about that pressure, he says, look, I score a couple of games and everything's fine. I don't score a couple of games and everybody's up in arms. I'm not really concerned with it, said Adam. He says, I'm here to do my bit for the club. I had a good run in the last few games of the season. It can turn quickly, that's football. There's been plenty of games that have gone without scoring, but you've got to stay focused and help the team. There's a lot of pressure on a club like Celtic when it's all about success. And it's amazing how what other people see success as. I mean, someone might have a limited company and only post 10 grand a year profit in all, and that's a bit bizarre. Having a limited company and you only do 10 grand a year. But do you know, it's all about standards. It is all about standards. There's a lot of pressure. He says, look, Brendan Rodgers said, I'm a great young lad, I'm professional, and I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing for the club. At the end of the day, I am human. I go out. I didn't have to stay inside all the time. It's hard when people are videoing you. It can be quite upsetting, especially when the story is made out to be not what it was. It can be tough. I'm human. I'm going to carry on with living my life. Well said, Adam Ida. Giving 2 fingers to the haters. Big up, Adam. Big up, Adam. We've all gone through points in our life where we get a little bit of hate, but it's cool. You know, Adam Ida lives above it and he rises above it, and that's the main thing. But anyway, most of the Hunt podcasters are saying that Celtic fans are running scared because of this Yankee takeover. Because of this guy's the new manager. Yeah, anyway, it's all about Celtic, isn't it? It's all about it's all about us. It's all about their thinking. We're running scared of them. We're the ones that are sitting with the 70, 80 million, probably 90 million pounds in the bank right now. And when you look at it, do you know, it is all about smaller teams, smaller companies, little small people that have no relevance whatsoever, but they like to think that they're relevant, and that's just life, isn't it, in Scotland, unfortunately. But yeah, I could go on, but I'm not going to. Adam Ida wasn't a dud. 20 goals. Somebody saying Adam Ida's a dud. Mikey, no income tax, no VAT, no money back. LLC, lol. I thought you were talking about someone else there, Mikey. Dear. Another limited company that doesn't earn a lot of money but thinks that they're bigger than what they are. But well, we'll keep that to ourselves. All the money's sitting in the kitty, and we've not even sold our base players yet. No, we haven't. And there is speculation that we may. This will be live on the 30 minutes left of the transfer, patiently waiting for signings. Ryan, don't say that. And what is going to happen with the transfer window? We all know that it closes on the 10th. Is there a cut-off point on the 10th? Is there a slamming shut of the window on the 10th? Or does it just close down gently and then it's going to peak back open again 6 days later? Paul Baird says we'll be running up our trophy count next season as usual. Yeah, I think so. But it's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be as easy as what we think, because let's face it, we're going to be going into the Champions League, and that's where the money is, and that's where... Ryan Merges, call me a negative time and time again, it's the same shit. Opinionated Glaswegian says Ryan sounds more depressed than the Huns. Apparently they're valued at 115 million. How could Rangers be valued at 115 million when they've sold all their best players, when they've let them go for free? Likely Hatat will be off next season, close to the highest sale record as possible. I think that Hatate will be off for roughly about 15 million maximum. I don't think Hatate is worth more than 15 million. 150 pence. But anyway, we move on. When they're talking about transfers, and obviously Kieran Tierney has left Arsenal, and he's made his final little nod to Arsenal about his years there. He's obviously incoming to Celtic, and he's said his goodbyes. Tierney only made 144 appearances in all the years that he was there, following his 25 million move. He said they've said it's an emotional farewell. There's nothing emotional about it. I mean, Henrik Larsson saying goodbye to Celtic, that was emotional. You know, Kieran Tierney's not standing on the pitch, tears running down his face because he's leaving his beloved club, is he? It said, but anyway, the club media said that Kieran Tierney said, just a thank you for everything from day one. They supported me through the good times and the bad. They supported me through some hard times as well, said Kieran. I think one of the most grateful for, that it wasn't so good or easy for me, but they've supported me at that very important part in my life. I just feel very grateful and lucky to have had the support from Arsenal over the years. I feel so lucky that I've played for this club, and that the supporters have given me some amazing times. They love it here. I've learned so much. I've improved so much as a player. Get in. That means he's going to even be better for Celtic. I just feel very lucky. When I first came in, obviously it was a huge, absolutely massive. We won the trophy, the FA Cup, in his first year. But it's a happy goodbye. He said it's not a sad goodbye, it's a happy goodbye. Of course it's a happy goodbye. He's coming back to Celtic. He's not exactly standing on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could say that Paul Lambert's goodbye when he left Germany, that was an emotional goodbye. I mean, Paul Lambert was in the middle of the pitch, and the Germans just didn't want Paul Lambert to leave, did they? When he was coming to Celtic, they rued the fact that he was leaving them. That was emotional. You can see Paul Lambert was emotional then, but for to say Kieran Tierney's was an emotional goodbye, it's a bit much. But anyway, we move on from that swiftly, very swiftly. I'm still laughing at the fact that they're in awe of somebody that got a team relegated, but then people will say, look, well, he got Leicester relegated, but who cares? When it comes to Celtic transfers, there is a player that has caught the eye of Celtic over the last couple of weeks, and he's actually turned down a club in this last few days, in the last 24 hours, which means it may have opened the door for Yousef to join Celtic, but we'll still wait and see if anything happens on that. I think if anything happens in the next 6 days, will be absolutely amazing for Celtic if something does happen, because then you've got that break until the 16th, and then it's all action again. All eyes are on the window to see who Celtic sign first. Greg Taylor has an offer, by the looks of it, a cracking deal to go to Greece. They're waiting on him to get back to. I think Greg Taylor's chancing his luck, isn't he? I mean, Greg Taylor should be confirmed. Yousef rejected that, yeah. That's what I just spoke about, Lanky. Lanky, you want to come on and do this for me? Because I could just go and get smashed. I could just go and... It's Wednesday night, I have no work tomorrow. You could come on and do this for me, and then I'll just go and get drunk, to be fair. It's fucking boiling outside and all. Still 28 degrees. Anyway, not to mention the mega diluted shares. Ours are stronger than ever. Yeah, who cares about them? There'll be enough time, enough meltdown for that lot to do over the course of the summer. I am very sure of that. I don't even think I'm going to bother with meltdown stuff. It will be funny though, because in comes another pretender. I can't help. Oh God, honestly. I'm gonna just put that. Gordon Ramsay must be absolutely raging that he's got the job. Gordon Ramsay must be on the phone to him and saying, "Oh, you? What are you doing getting the Rangers job?" Oh dear God. I'm just going to go through some of the comments. If I come on, you'll lose a lot of viewers. It's a way, Lanky. We lose viewers all the time on this channel. It's just a number. And God, the chat's on about them, isn't it? I don't really fucking care about them. Anyway, Paul Baird will be more than happy that Greg Taylor's got a couple of clubs sitting with wages and everything, bumper pay deals for them to sign in Greece, and they're just sitting on waiting on them getting back to them. I mean, who does Greg Taylor think he is? Really? And is it no embarrassing for him? A player that's played in the Champions League and stuff, and supposedly one of the best inverted left backs in Europe, allegedly. I mean, Dynamo Zagreb had dangled the carrot and say, come and play for us. There's Champions League. You've now got, is it Panathinaikos or somebody fucking after him to go to Greece? Two years with the option of a third. I mean, he's in Dubai. He's in Dubai on holiday, according to his Instagram. So I don't know. I mean, if you're him, you'd be just going, let's get it. Just happy to see Taylor going by. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, a lot of Celtic fans that are happy to see. So that got me thinking as well. Reading, I went on to Twitter today because there was a little bit of a drama on Twitter this morning, and I went on to Twitter, and it is a strange land, this Twitter, isn't it? When you start looking up Celtic stuff and everything on Twitter, and it's like the Twitterati, as I call them. I mean, I've had a Twitter account for God knows how many years, but I never use it because it's one of these social media platforms. I mean, how long have I had my account? Since 2009, and that's been a Celtic account all those years as well. Has been a Celtic account all those years, so it's absolutely bonkers to think. I mean, it's always a platform that I never. That's just fucking. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. But anyway, it does what it does for some people. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Small people, small people. But anyway, when you look at some of you start looking at some Celtic stuff, there's a lot of people not happy with Brendan Rodgers. So that leads me to the poll question tonight. And I know the people that will say no to this one straight away. So, it comes to the poll question tonight is, are you happy with the way that Brendan Rodgers and Celtic are going? Because when you look online and you look at some of these social media platforms, and it's unbelievable. It's like, what do these people see? What do people see that I'm not seeing? I mean, I could be the biggest critic of the Celtic board, and I have been over the years, and this channel has got videos testament to that, going way back before a lot of these new podcasts came around. And I've probably, on the land of Twitter, I was probably the most critical back in 2010, 11, 12, 13 of the board at the time, for the way that they were treating fans and stuff. And I just think, what do the Celtic fan base really see that the problem is? We won a double last year, and we were terrible in the final, woeful. But we've seen that coming. But is that a lot of people are saying that's Brendan Rodgers' fault. But is it Brendan Rodgers' fault? We sell our main striker in a window, and we knew months before. that he wanted away. So you have to do your due diligence as a club and get the manager a replacement. Now, you can turn around and Brendan Rodgers can butter it up all he wants and say that, look, we can utilise Dyson Maeda. Is Brendan Rodgers saving face for the board throughout the season? Or did he save face for the board? Did he deflect a lot of antagonism that might have came the board's way even more because of the fact that we didn't sign a striker? And did he deflect from what's really going on in the background and how... And I always think that when it comes to this summer, I'm going to watch every single Brendan Rodgers interview. I'm going to listen to every single word because he spoke a lot of home truths last summer when he was in America. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because if we haven't sorted out a lot of positions by the time that we head over to Italy for the 4-team competition, I think that we're in real trouble. Not in a financial sense, not in a football sense, but I just think that it's not a happy camp. It's not a happy camp. And especially after the Green Brigade interview, and they say that like fucking Nicholson's a knob, basically. And, Brendan Rodgers kind of said the same thing last summer. He said the same thing last summer. Anyway, if either's good, an awful lot of fans think he's a dud. I'm one. It says Danny Boy. Why don't an awful lot of it should be why do. Hank says he's on the fence with this one. Not a fan of the board. Never wanted Brendan Rodgers back, and I haven't changed my mind on either point, says Paul Baird. Until Dermot Desmond, Lawwell and his cronies are gone, Celtic will always be held back. I'm going to disagree with that one. Not Dermot Desmond. He only has a certain amount of control. He's not there on the day-to-day running and decision makings. He's there for the big decisions, the getting on the phone to get the manager in. Do you know, he pulls the strings when it comes to that. Could you imagine? I'm going to put this out there. If it was left, think about it this way, right? I'm going to stick up for Dermot Desmond here. If it was left to Peter Lawwell, Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay to bring in the next manager after Ange Postecoglou left. You see the way that these people that have been around the club for a long time, you can see the way that they went before with managers. When Brendan left the first time, they brought back Neil Lennon. Neil Lennon did fine with Brendan Rodgers' team, and then when Neil Lennon had to make changes himself, it just wasn't up to it. It was Dermot Desmond that phoned Ange Postecoglou first. He made first contact with Ange. And I just think when you look back, Tony Mowbray's of the world, Ronnie Dyler, although Ronnie was a fantastic manager in his own right, and he done stuff that Tony Mowbray couldn't. But you see, the standards are completely different. So for me, Dermot Desmond shouldn't get as much stick as what he does. And people say, "Oh, he's an absent landlord." Well, he's not. He only owns. 2 seconds. I turned it down because it was on. Sorry about that. He only owns 51% of the club, which you're going to say, well, that's the majority shareholder. I've spoken about this a lot of other times. There's 2 guys that have the second and third amount of shares in Celtic that have nothing to do with the club at all. Nothing to do with the club at all. One owns 15 million and the other one's about 8 million or something. And they run businesses in Scotland. And they've never had anything to do with Celtic. Ever. And I just think that's stranger than Dermot Desmond, who gets a lot of stick. Got to ditch the 4-3-3. It's dated and too easy to nullify, says Danny Boy. Interesting. Considering the team that won the Champions League played 4-3-3 and the team that got beat in the Champions League played 3-5-2. So what position would you want to play, Danny Boy? Because 3-5-2 got absolutely humbled in the Champions League final. Absolutely humbled. And 4-3-3 won the day. I think it's all about having players. I mean, talk about players. We could talk about Matt O'Reilly. Matt O'Reilly's a player that is not happy with where he's at the moment. Is a player that plays in the number 8 position and he's not getting to play there with his current team. You know, he's come out and said that he's not happy. He isn't happy. There's the Matt O'Reilly one there. Matt O'Reilly, who's on international duty, says since his big transfers, £25 million switch, he's missed a lot of games through injury. At 24-year-old, he says that he's been unable to play in his favoured position. And he's now been pushed into the number 10 position instead. And he says, it's not my favourite position, but I'm not happy. I says, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not happy. I'm just giving you my opinion. It's difficult to show off the way that you play when you're playing in a position that you're not completely happy with. I can play better for the team if I play in the number 8 position. I can play in other positions, but I just feel that I'm getting played out of position and not using my full capabilities as a player. So is it the fact that we do, and that Brendan Rodgers maybe doesn't play players in their favoured positions? Goma signed Alex Valle for €6 million. Port Shoppers Express, yes. And it looks like their manager is about to jump ship and go to Inter. It looks like the manager that wanted him 2 seconds. The manager that wanted him is jumping ship, says Fabregas. So that would be interesting. But then again, he didn't want to play in Scottish football, so I mean, neither would I if you had the chance. Anyway, I feel so frustrated. Matt's such a good player. Do you think if we didn't get the big bid, I mean, it wasn't Matt O'Reilly that really pushed through the move, was it? I mean, the bid came in for him and we just sold him. Paul Vere says Matt was unlucky to get injured early on, to be fair. It wasn't just an injury, that was a tackle of all tackles. I mean, that could have been a career-ending tackle. Matt O'Reilly's wanting away. I don't know if he's wanting away, I just think that he probably knows that Matt's one of those players. He's very philosophical and he's very mindset driven. And when you have that kind of mentality and you focus on your mindset and playing in the right position, then you have to have a manager that, one, believes in you. And I think he's got a manager right now that doesn't believe in him. And it's like anything, when you've got a manager that doesn't believe in you and thinks that knows you better than you know yourself, there's always going to be that conflict. So yeah, get a Matt O'Reilly back. Nah. It's not the way that, well, you can say that we brought Jota back, but I'm not too sure. Not too sure about that one. Right, if you're not happy with the way that the board and Celtic are going, tell me why in the comments, because there's 27% have said that they aren't happy, and I've just ended the poll. What the fuck, I pressed the wrong button. Well, the poll stopped. Oh dear, it's probably because I'm on the half-hour mark. Baz, don't you dare, mate. Don't you dare what? Don't you dare what? What have I not to do? Marty get plenty of kills with Monty says play 4-4-1-1. I'm not really a fan of 4-4-1-1, but I think it's a waste of two strikers. Because it's not even a striker, because you're playing one striker and then you're using a midfielder up front. But anyway, we should play two strikers up front in the SPFL. Yep. Dare what? What was that? That's what I was thinking as well, Tom Mark. I have no idea. Don't you dare. I'm the one that's 26% that's pushed the bed. 74% are happy clapping. 74% are happy clapping. How can it be happy clapping? This is an interesting one, Monty. How could you be sitting? How could you be happy clapping at the way that Celtic are going? Because let's face it, I mean, we've had a successful season. We have had a successful season. That coffee's just hit me up my guts. Anyway, we're done and dusted for the night. We've been on for half an hour, more than long enough. I will be back live tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock Celtic Park time. So if you are up and about, make sure you join us for that. It will be on for probably about an hour in the morning. We could talk about some Celtic news and we can get a little bit of a laugh and congratulate the new Rangers, Martin. I heard he makes a mean breakfast, but anyway, that's it. We need to congratulate him. So anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. It's great being this fantastic community.